welcome to my channel Mundodi Vlogs. So my dear friends, for quite some time I have been waiting to introduce a new vintage bike in my collection. It has been about 6 months since I started using this bike after my sister gifted it to me on the occasion of my birthday. Yes, you heard it right. This is a 2000 model Yamaha RX135, a two-stroke bike with a 4-speed gearbox and which produces around 12 horsepower. It's a fantastic motorcycle with a great amount of torque, power, speed and road grip. Overall, it's a really fun bike to ride. The main reason why I didn't show this bike earlier on my channel is because I wanted to do several upgrades and personalizations to match my taste. So I thought I would first finish most of the modifications and then introduce it to you all. Now the personalization is almost 99% complete. There are still a few small things left, but I couldn't wait any longer to share it with you guys. So in today's video, I'm finally going to show you my bike and all the upgrades I have done to personalize it. And the interesting part is that we'll also check the mileage of the bike after all the modifications that I have done. So if you love vintage motorcycles like this one, make sure you stay with me till the end of the video. So let's get started. Since this is a vintage bike, even though it originally comes with an oil pump system, I prefer to stay on the safer side. That's why I'm using a 40 ml premix of 2T oil instead of relying on the stock oil pump. Along with that, I'm also adding Indian Oil's add-on P fuel additive to help reduce some of the negative effects of the E20 petrol, and it will also help to keep the fuel system clean. After adding the additive, I'll just wipe the tank with a microfiber cloth so that the petrol or additive doesn't leave any stains on the paint. And I have also checked and filled the tire pressure so that everything is set properly for the ride. Alright, so here it is, my 2000 Yamaha RX 135. After months of riding, upgrading and personalizing it to my taste, I am finally ready to give you a proper walk around of my bike. So let's take a closer look at this beautiful vintage machine. I am running an E3 bore with a 0.25 mm Izumi piston paired with the E3 stock head. I am also using a made in Japan Koyo engine bearings, which are very high quality bearings that helps the engine run much smoother and more reliable. For ignition, I am using an NGK iridium spark plug for a strong and consistent spark. And for the exhaust, I am running an OOH RX115 performance exhaust, which is made in Indonesia. The sound is very smooth and very close to the stock RX100 6-hole exhaust. But because of its free flow design, it makes a slight performance increase above 60 km per hour. The sound level is surprisingly 80 to 85 decibel, so it remains very close to the stock road legal limits. For the carburetor, I am using the original Yamaha RX King 26 mm Mikuni carburetor, which is made in Indonesia, and it gives excellent throttle response. And I have coupled it with a glass filter for better fuel filtration. For shifting, I am using the original RX King gear lever, which is very comfortable and precise. The clutch setup is 100% original Yamaha RX King Indonesia spec, including the clutch hub and the plates, giving a strong and reliable power delivery. Even the primary gear is also original Yamaha Japan made. At the rear, I am using a 3.25 16-inch SD tire, which helps give the bike better throttle response and improved grip while cornering. I have also upgraded the front drum brake to a disc brake setup. For this conversion, I am using the original Escorts shocker downpipes and the original Escorts wheel hub, which I have sourced from a second-hand Yamaha Gladiator. The disc plate, caliper, brake hose and the front brake master cylinder all are brand new, which gives the bike much stronger and more confident braking compared to a stock drum setup. I have also installed RD handlebar for comfortable riding coupled with proper bar end weights to reduce vibrations. Alright, now it's time for the actual mileage test. I have my mileage testing bottle with me and I'll be filling exactly 300 ml of petrol into it. Before connecting this bottle, I have already drained the carburetor and the carburetor float bowl is completely empty. This ensures that the fuel used for this test comes only from this bottle. Now I'll connect this pipe directly into the carburetor. So before starting the ride, let me show you the current odometer reading so we can accurately measure the distance covered. It's 9665.3 kilometers. Now I'm starting the bike and taking it for the mileage test ride. For this test, I will maintain a consistent speed between 55 to 60 km per hour. Anything slower than that is not very practical in real world riding, and speeds above 60 km per hour usually reduce fuel efficiency. So around 60 km per hour is considered an economical cruising speed for getting better mileage. I will also be riding normally, no sudden acceleration, no harsh braking, and no rash riding. While we continue riding, let me share some simple tips to improve your bike's mileage. First, shift gears properly at the right time. Riding in wrong gears always wastes fuel. Second, try to maintain a steady throttle instead of constantly accelerating and braking. Third, always keep your tire pressure correct because low tire pressure increases rolling resistance and reduces mileage. Fourth, maintain proper chain adjustment. See, if the chain is too tight or too loose, it creates extra friction and the engine has to work harder. And fifth, regularly service your carburetor, your air filter, change the engine oil regularly, because a clogged air filter will affect the air fuel mixture and it will reduce the efficiency. Also, if the engine oil is not changed regularly, the viscosity of the oil will also increase the friction of the engine parts, which will also in turn will help reduce the mileage. And another useful riding technique is engine braking. No one usually speaks about it because most of the people they rely on brakes to slow down the bike, but experienced riders they always rely on engine braking to slow down the brake. So instead of using the brake suddenly, you can always shift a gear down and slowly reduce the bike speed. So this will greatly help to increase the mileage and will reduce unnecessary fuel consumption. So these small habits can actually make a big difference in your bike's mileage. Also, one important thing to mention, see, I live in a hilly terrain. As you can see from the roads in this video, there are a lot of climbs, turns, and twists. Riding conditions like this will naturally reduce mileage compared to flat roads. So, the mileage I get here will be different from someone riding in the plains. See, in fact, riders who live in flat areas or near sea level usually get better mileage because the engine doesn't have to work as hard. Another factor is atmospheric pressure and altitude. Yes, air density changes depending on whether you are near sea level or in the mountain regions. Because of this, the carburetor tuning can be different for different terrains. So, to tune my carburetor properly, I use a digital tachometer from a brand called Opma. I use it to set the fuel mixture screw and idle RPM accurately. Also, in the coming days, I'll definitely upload a detailed video on how to tune a carburetor using a digital tachometer. Because, in my opinion, this is one of the most scientific and accurate ways to tune a carburetor. Oh, looks like the fuel is completely empty in the bottle, but I can see a little bit of fuel left in the pipe. Now, let's see how far we can push the bike. See, traditionally, most mechanics tune carburetors just by listening to the sound of the engine. But the problem with that method is that it is purely dependent on the mechanic's perception of sound. And perception of sound can vary from person to person. So the tuning may not always be perfectly accurate. It seems like the fuel is already empty in the pipe as well, and I think there's a little bit of fuel left in the float valve. I can already feel some jerking. Let's see how far we can push the bike. The engine is losing power. I can feel it. It should stop any moment now. And one final push. Okay. And there you go. The engine is about to die. Okay, that's it. I can't push it any further. So let us check the odometer reading now. So the final reading is 9678.1 kilometers and the initial reading was 9665.3 kilometers. So the bike has run around 12.8 kilometers using 300 ml of fuel. So 300 ml of fuel means it is 0.3 liters of fuel. So to calculate mileage, 12.8 kilometer divided by 0.3 liter of fuel will come around 42.67 kilometer per liter of fuel. Can you believe it, guys? Unbelievable, because the company claimed mileage for Yamaha RX135 was around 40 kilometer per liter of fuel, but I'm getting 42.67 kilometer per liter of fuel mileage on a hilly terrain, that too on a 26-year-old two-stroke bike. It's unbelievable, and I'm sure whatever the upgrades I have done is really worth the effort. Because getting good mileage on a plain road is not a big deal, but getting such good mileage on a hilly terrain like ours is a great thing. And if you're wondering from where I got all these original imported spare parts from, I sourced most of them from Mr. Sujit Gowda at Two Stroke Legend Spare Shop. He's a very trusted seller in the two-stroke community, and if you're restoring or maintaining a two-stroke, you can definitely get in touch with him. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you have found my video to be informative and interesting. If you have liked my video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe to my channel Mundodi Vlogs for more such informative and interesting videos in the future. Thank you, friends.